Okay. We're going to get there, but can we introduce our listeners to who you are? Because you have an interesting backstory. I mean, you haven't been a career plumber.
No, actually, I'm a career criminal.
Career criminal, yeah. You just got out. Yeah.
No, my background has been in construction. I spent a lot of years in the commercial roofing industry, and in that commercial side of our business was sheet metal and in low slope roofing, which is, you can call it flat roofing. So we did projects like schools, hospitals, Lowe's, Home Depots.
Oh, big contracts.
Shopping centers, that type of thing. So, we ran a pretty good size operation, anywhere from 60 men to 110 men, and quite a few crews. So it was a fun operation. But in doing that, you learn to read plans and specifications, and you learn to build. And so through these years, I've always built houses, flipped houses, and learned the construction business.
Harry, are you from Texas?
No, I'm from my mother.
Oh, okay.
That's that smart.
Yeah.
Rear end of. No, I grew up in Sioux City, Iowa, as an Iowegian, and
You call yourself Iowegians?
Iowegians, yeah.
I
I've never heard that.
Well, that's
Iowans.
When you're,
That's why.
there's I call them Iowegians. Let's put it that way. So, but in probably my early 30s, I transferred to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where I had the roofing company for 36 years in Sioux Falls. I become a South Dakotan.
Did you build that roofing company, or did you come into it and purchase it?
No, built it from scratch.
That's a lot of building.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Good opportunity.
How did you get into construction, into roofing?
Money.
Yeah, sure.
The root of all evil. No, it was actually money. I started doing I was working with a lumber yard, and I did inside and outside sales with a lumber yard, and moved about through Iowa and South Dakota, Minnesota, on building projects and seeing the different trades. And I thought, that's an interesting trade. And I got in at about the time that the kettles were going away, hot tar and gravel roof systems were going away, and new low slope mechanisms called EPDM, TPO, PVC were coming in the marketplace. So it made a great period of time to get in so that we could influence the architectural base that was drawn to plans and specifications, and then it just went forward from there. It just got bigger.
How quickly was your start? Okay, I'm going to go into this. You don't jump from 0 to 60 guys, 0 to 100 guys in a year, I wouldn't think.
Well, I borrowed $10,000 from my mother.
Yeah, thanks, Mom.
Yeah, no, she volunteered that, and so she helped me make that step, and then we went out and just started selling roofs, knocking doors and selling roofs.
Did you start out in commercial?
In commercial.
Uh-huh.
We did commercial with some residential, and we were trying to sell siding and windows and that kind of thing, but it didn't take me very long to figure out that I really didn't want to be in the residential market.
You much rather do the bigger stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It was.
So you ended up in South Dakota, early 30s, and for 36 years.
I have, yes, back and forth.
You've gone back and forth, but you owned your roofing company, Guaranteed Roofing, for
36 years.
36 years?
So an old friend of mine, an employee, first he was an employee and then became a friend, put me on the back of a cutting horse.
Okay.
And that was the biggest thrill of my life. And so he said, well, you think this is fun? We went to Hayward, Iowa, and he put me on the back of an old mare, and he says, oh, I got you entered in this class. And I went into that class. He says, you watch what they're doing, and you just do what they're doing, and we'll see what you do. Well, this old mare took care of me. I won $87. And I was the hero. I was in charge. And so he said, well, you think this is fun. We're going to go down to Texas. I'm going to show you some cutting horses. So he come down to Fort Worth to the Futurity. And I never looked back.
Horses, cutting. So, okay.
Oh, man, I loved the death out of riding horses and cutting horses.
I would have never thought you were like a horse guy.
I'm ignorant. What?
Oh, man.
You love horses?
Oh, my God. I'm lower in numbers now than I ever was, but for years I had, and I traveled back and forth from South Dakota to Texas and back, and I ran that roofing company. What do you call that? Long distance. Had good management in place. Took care of the big end of the business side of it, and did the bidding part of that year in the commercial industry happens from 1st of December through about the 1st of March, and you sell the bulk of your business for the year. So I had a lot of free time that I could move about the world. So that friend of mine that put me on them horses is, he's back in Utah, but he's up in his 80s. But my goodness, we had a lot of fun. We had great horses. Had the ability to take a couple of horses to the finals and semifinals at the NCHA Futurity in Fort Worth. I've personally finished top 10 in the world a couple of times. And
so tell me, I don't know. I mean, I know what a cutting horse is, but what do you do? Like I guess you get on the horse and you go to competitions. You're not just going to fields and
go to competitions. Yeah.
What does a cutting horse competition look like?
You're probably a little bit familiar.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not on the cutting horse. I'm not as like familiar as like the what the actual competition is. I just know you're sorting. Like you're just
Well, if there's somebody, I would recommend they just go to YouTube and put in NCHA Futurity Finals and watch 30 minutes of cutting horses, and you'll
kind of know what
you kind of know.
So you still have horses now, or you got rid of you?
I have 3 horses now.
You still cut, or are they just lawn ornaments?
They're just lawn ornaments.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just old girls that we had years ago that treated me very well.
So you
and I'm
keeping them around?
I keep them around. I let them retire and said, I'll take care of you for the rest of your life, and you can just hang out right here. And old girls that give you your next step in the horses, that give you a horse that you can go to the finals with and trained well and sold well also. Because there's always money involved. Always. In anything we do, you got to pay the bills.
The only thing I know about horses is that money is always one direction. It's always going out.
Well,
it's very expensive pets.
Yeah, I liken it to the going to Las Vegas. So you go buy a roll of dollars and you're putting them in the slot machine, and you go and you keep pulling that lever, and then pretty soon it'll go ting 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 and start filling your cup back up. So you reach in that cup and put it back in the pile, and you keep doing it again. So if you can start with a good base of money in the pot, you'll go a long way in the cutting horse industry. If you start with a small fry, you're going to run out too quick. You know? I was fortunate enough, the one horse that finished 4th in the Futurity Finals, sold for enough money to pay for the ranch and quite a few years of cutting after that. They call it cutting, horse riding. And he eventually was sold again to another concern in the United States, and from there he was sold into South America, so he still stands in South America today.
That's pretty cool.
We shipped horses to France, Germany, Argentina, a number of different places.
That's pretty neat.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's cool to have friends in the horse business in Europe. It's pretty awesome.
Is people in Europe as psychotic about we are? Like, are they super into it? Or are they like, what do they view? Is their view of the horse different? Or is it just how do they go about their horse business?
They know where to come to find good ones.
They come over here.
Texas forever.
Yeah, Texas bred. Yeah. they'll come and the Germans will come and around futurity time, a month before and a month after, and they will scour the country for a good horse to get shipped back into Europe so they can compete in the European.
Is there cutting in Europe,
Yeah,
or is it okay?
There is cutting, yes. There is cutting. It's not quite as probably exciting as it is here because they're, what concern do I want to call it? They're animal welfare concerns. They're, they're a little more
Conservative.
Conservative, yes. They're watching so there's no animal cruelty involved at all. You know? So they see a set of spurs on it, better not have rock grinders. So.
So, I mean, I had no idea we were going to go to
Talk about the Germans and cutting horses.
This is
cutting
awesome.
horses. We could talk about cutting horses all day. But
Oh, man. I
I
can
don't
see
mind
that.
that. Yeah, you know, or
So, how
other things you want to talk about? Some cars and show you some pictures of some old cars.
Oh, man. Oh, maybe you're going to be a return guest. That's what we just learned. There's more to talk about.
There's you know, Kevin said he was looking for a hobby, so I was just going to try to get him involved in the old car business. You know,
old car, yeah.
Do some hot rods. And,
Yeah.
You know,
Are you into hot rods too? I mean, are you a mechanic at the shop and fixing up old cars?
I have dreams, so my dreams turn into projects. And as a matter of fact, I just got a text on the way out here that we got a 50, or not a 50, it's 1966 Ford F100 that's just coming out of the paint shop, and I can pick it up tomorrow. Yeah,
Harry, please come back and talk to us again.
We got to talk about the. We got to get a picture of the car.
Oh man!
Or there's a truck.
It's a truck.
Yeah, truck. Yeah, 150. Yeah.
We've got a little shed at the house that's got a few old cars in it. Yeah, I don't have I can't be called a Ford guy or a Chevy guy or a Chrysler guy. I like them all. You know? One of the nicest cars that we have is a 68 Dodge Coronet 440 RT. That's
I am clueless.
Nice and yellow. It got a 440 Magnum 4-speed in it. And my second daughter, Misty, says, "That's my car because I licked it." You know?